I have in front of me a three-way multi LNB holder. Now we have a few versions of this in terms of a two-way, a three-way, and possibly even a four-way inside the range. But it's the same basic design and idea. What we basically want to do is we want to have multiple LNBs pointing onto a single satellite dish. And what you're going to do then is you're going to feed them back down and have each of them picking up off a different satellite. So if you had a very large satellite dish, you'd get away with this. So you could have one, we'll say, aiming at Astra 1 and the other at Hotbird, which are quite close together in the sky, or maybe even Astra 2 if you had a large enough dish. And you'd feed them into a dissect switch then normally and down to a single receiver. So a single dish, 3 satellites set up, and that's basically how it would work. So something like this is designed by Saab. It's a very, very simple design. So it just comes in a small outer bag. This LNB isn't in it, it's just for demonstration purposes. So you just have these nuts and bolts that we see here, and you have a very quick instruction manual on how to assemble it. So what I'm quickly going to do is I'm just going to go through what we have here. So I'm just going to grab this LNB here, and I'm just going to force it. I'm just going to hold it off cameras and do this, just because I'm just forcing the plastic there down over it, clip it around, and now we want to lock it into position. And we lock it into position simply by getting this long bolt here, we get its nut here, we screw it on, and what I'd use then is a screwdriver, I just tighten it into position. So basically what we have then is the LNB held securely by this plastic holder. And what we want to do is we want to tie this onto directly onto the LNB holder here itself. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll just get one of 2 bolts we're going to use for this. So just slide one directly through here. So to speed up this video, I'm not going to use the screwdriver or anything like that. I'm just going to hand tighten them in each case. Like this, okay, and we can see this depending on how tightened. I can lock it into position tightly like I just did there now, or I can loosen it off and just allow us to slide it over and back to. So this is aiming towards a dish and things like this. So and the idea is that one of the LNBs here will be held directly onto the dish itself, and then the other ones here are via this thing held on. So we can see here that we'll be able to squeeze them on. So there is different variations of these. There's ones that are designed specifically for triax ones, all the rest of it. These ones here still do prove to be popular here because they're probably the most flexible, because all you're doing is you're simply saying, let's bolt this on here, attach one and hold it then. And we're able to have great flexibility in terms of the moving over and back on it. The more complicated versions can actually have curvature there, where it's going actually with the outer shape of the dish and things like that, which can be advantageous. But this is cheap, it's effective, it works, and it'll work across any dish, because the only thing it's depending on is that you're going to have a 40mm neck on your LNB and right across the board. Except in very rare cases that's going to be the case. So that's it anyway, an overview of the three-way multiple LNB holder design available directly from freetv.ie.